Hello again, it's Dominic here.
Hey, Nick Berard at Keller Williams Realty. Let's start that over because we're not saying anything Keller Williams, are we?
No, we can.
Okay.
Let's just keep going.
Let's just keep going.
Obviously we're with Keller Williams.
Obviously.
And this is the Millionaire Real Estate Agent, and we are starting part 2 here.
Of our awesome book club and...
Awesome book club. Yeah.
Figuring out, let's break this book down and figure out how we're applying it to our business and hopefully help everybody else out there that's looking to build an awesome real estate business as well.
Right, and so we're on to Think a Million right now. So as we talked about earlier in one of the other videos there's 4 steps to earning $1 million. There's first thinking $1 million, the next is to earn $1 million, to net $1 million, and then receive $1 million, right? I guess there's 4 steps to making $1 million. So the first one here is building essentially a 20-lane highway for your future. And that means you have to think about the massive future you're gonna have before you actually work on your way to getting there, because you have to believe in it first, right?
Well, exactly, and just thinking, and they use the analogy in the book that there's a super high producer years ago was looking at when she hired an assistant and made this awesome compensation plan and saying, hey, great, come work for me. As we grow the business, your compensation is going to grow. However, because that agent didn't think far enough in the future and, hey, once my business gets really big, what's this going to look like? She got to a point where her assistant's income kept growing. However, her businesses started to plateau because as they hit higher and higher sales goals, she was able to, the assistant on that compensation plan was making more and more. And then it had the agent almost in a bad situation that she was taking things away from her assistant or wanting to take things away because that agent couldn't think big enough in the beginning. So I think that's
a good story, because obviously the agent is doing way more business than she ever thought possible, which is cool.
Because she couldn't think that far ahead or didn't have the foresight to think
about that pay model, at least for the assistant. That was a way where she had the potential to lose that assistant because of the way she had to pull back that pay, right? Kind of like a take back a little bit. She didn't want to lose that valued staff member, so that became an issue. So if she would have thought that bigger in the future, it wouldn't have been a problem, right? And then as far as also thinking, we want to make sure we're constantly learning, and we need to really understand the foundational models of what we need to learn before we start going out and doing all these big things. Is that right?
Yeah, the other thing that was struck me as interesting is that they use the analogy of a surgeon versus a real estate agent. When we get a real estate license, we have carte blanche to go do whatever we want.
Selling, buying, let's do this.
Let's go start making a bunch of money. And they make the note that most agents get into real estate and start spending their way into debt before they're actually making money. So they're working to earn before they're working to learn. And they use the analogy of a surgeon. How long does a surgeon take in school before they actually graduate? Well, 4 years of undergrad, 4 years of medical school, and oh, by the way, once they get out, they have 2 years of an internship and a year of a residency. So we're talking
2 years resident, but yes, about average of 12 years.
12 to 15 years before surgeons actually can operate on their clients themselves. And what do we do in real estate?
Jump into it, go ahead first.
Go ahead first. So I think it's important for me to, I always constantly want to learn and understand and be a master of my craft. The more education I can have and self-improvement that I have, I think that just helps my clients and my business. And
hence why we're going through this book is one of the steps, right?
Exactly.
And we've gone through this book before, probably a couple times, but this is a more thorough way for us to do this, is making sure we're understanding it and going through videos with you guys to really break it down. So the next part of this book was the 9 ways a millionaire real estate agent thinks, and we've only made it through the first way so far in this read through, and that is think powered by a big why. And there's a lot of different ways of looking at that, but you need to really make sure you understand what your big why is, or what your why is for that day or that time. What are you focused on? And then the big why of your high motivation. What is it that's going to drive you through the workday? What is it that makes you want to expand your business? What is it that makes you want to sell 100 homes versus 10 homes, right?
I often find that if it's been said before and it is so apparent now, I always get in my head about, how am I going to do this or how am I going to do that? At the end of the day, Dominic, if I have that why and my motivation, I know what's driving me, the how shows up. I figure out how I'm going to get things done if I know why I'm doing something. So,
well, they gave the example in the book of the day before you go on vacation. This is very true in real estate. So say you have a 2-week-long vacation, you're going to Cabo or whatever it happens to be. That day before you leave, or the day before the evening you leave, or whatever it happens to be, the amount of work that you're able to get done is massive. And it's not necessarily because you understand all the little steps you need to do to get there, but it's because you're so highly focused because of your why in this case, which is leaving on vacation. You know you need to have all that stuff done before you need to go.
Well, think about that. Have you ever, somebody watching this right now, have you ever had that vacation coming up, and so your Friday or Thursday, whatever day, next day's vacation, are you avoiding those trivial emails? Are you getting through and ignoring those random water cooler conversations where it's like office gossip, and you're just laser focused on what needs to get done? Because the next day you're going to Cabo, you're going somewhere fun, and you don't have time. And they use that as an analogy or a study in here, like, hey, that's the focus. If you have a big enough why, you can have that focus every single day. And what kind of possibilities does that open up for you? If you have that laser focus and can get done what needs to get done, and avoid the stuff that doesn't.
We'll be more productive, and it's not going to be more stressful. It's just going to be more productive. You'll be more focused, which I think is really cool. So where we stopped, and we're kind of asking you guys to stop in the same way at the end of this video, is trying to break down what really motivates you. Take a minute or two, write down your thoughts, and really see what is it that is your big why, or what are your small whys, right? What is important to you right now in your business, in your career, in your family? I mean, what is it that's driving you? And really take a minute and think about that. And Nick and I, before this video, actually took a minute and kind of talked to each other about what ours are. And sometimes there's some vagueness there, which is okay, but as talking through them with each other, we were able to break those down to more specific. Instead of me saying this whole paragraph, I was able to be like, wow, I really want to help others grow, And that became like a really deeper understanding than this whole explanation I have, right? So.
And family is a huge why for me. Yet the same thing, I think we're think similarly in that we want to help other people, and that's one reason why we're putting these videos together to share the knowledge that we have, because that's one thing that nobody can take away from you. You can't take that knowledge away. Helping others learn and get better in their own businesses and their own careers and in real estate, and I mean, that's just a couple things that motivating us, and as we stop to reflect, and we're on the same page there. It's pretty cool when we're kind of talking through this stuff.
It was really cool, actually. So take a minute, do that with yourselves or with someone you know, and see what you guys come up with.
Yeah, it's interesting if you can respond on this. Send us a quick note if this is helping. That'd be awesome to see.
Right, they'll be like, stop doing your videos.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.